Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Welcome to day 20. Today's verse is on self control. I'm not even sure this is what we're supposed to be talking about today, but I haven't got anything else, so I'm sure it is. Today's scripture, Proverbs 25, verse 28. A man without self control is like a city broken into and left without walls. I've had a terrible headache and just haven't felt like myself in the last few days. And when I'm sharing on these verses, it's almost like every day I'm going through something that forces me to apply the verse in a really practical way. It's 9:47 a.m. on day 20, and I'm just recording. I was feeling so poorly yesterday. So I started typing something, and then I had to put my baby to bed and I slept off with her. Then I woke up to do the work and started typing some more. In fact, I typed up a whole thing, but I kept getting distracted because my baby had woken up. So I went to try to put her to bed, and then I slept off with her. And I woke up this morning, my head feels foggy, but I must I must practice self-control, right? I must say that I have committed to a task and I'm going to stick with it, right? I must say that I believe that all things work for my good, that God is within me and I have the strength to push through and get things done, right? I must exercise discipline even though I don't feel like it. It's what we are always talking about in our Christian faith, bringing flesh to submission. It's dying to flesh. When you hear the spirit is willing, body is weak, it's literally what I'm going through right now. So I try to be as real as possible in the recordings. But I've tried to record twice already, and this is my third time, and things keep switching up on me. I started off the first one just trying to read what I wrote, and then the second one was me going into the book of Nehemiah and talking about how the Israelites, when Nehemiah went back to try to rebuild the city, how they had to handle things in like a three-pronged approach, right? They had people that were standing to watch guard, right, outside the city walls or whatever was left of it, so that if there was trouble coming, they would know and warn the others. And I want to liken that to your spirit man, being sensitive to what's going on around you in your home, in your workspace, being mindful and discerning of when there's attacks coming, right? You've got to be on guard, for lack of a better word. You've got to actively be spending time with the Lord so that your spirit man is sensitive, and when you see trouble, then you can alert. I don't even know who you'd alert, but you'd be on alert so that you can actively destroy any issues coming your way. And then the second approach is the ones that are holding the weapons and watching guard for those that are actually building the wall, right? So maybe we should look at it as the spirit, body, and soul. The body is the one building the walls, right? The henchmen, for lack of a better word. They don't do any strategies, they just get the work done. And then the ones that are holding the weapons, perhaps we should call that the spirit man instead. And I hope all of this is making sense. I'm just kind of going with it. So I think for me, when I think about self-control now in context of what I'm saying, is that every part of yourself needs to be involved. Self-control means that you're not on autopilot. You're not letting things just happen to you. You're not going with the whims of the world. You're not being swung around left, right, and center. Right? We hear all the time that the only person you can control is yourself, or the only person stopping you is you. And really, when you think about it, it's if you're not, if you don't have the watchman, if you don't have your spirit man on guard, on alert, if your mind is clawed, how do you say it? Is what's the word? I can't think of the word. If your mind is cluttered, yes, cluttered is the word. If your mind is cluttered by irrelevant things like this random stuff you see on social media, or the things you watch on TV, or bad news, or just stupid things, it's hard for you to actually sit down and strategize and be proactive about things. And then if your body is weak, meaning you have not taking care of yourself, you're not active in any whatsoever, you're eating junk, you don't take your vitamins, you don't eat the right foods, your city is going to break down. And all these things are because you're not exercising self-control, right? You're not exercising self-control in your spirit, meaning you're not spending time with God, you're not studying the word, you're not praying, you're not fellowshipping with other believers. You are not exercising self-control with your body, meaning you are not eating right and working out. Doesn't have to be any serious workout, just walking up and down the stairs, or going for a meeting and then choosing you take the stairs rather than the elevator. And then your mind is, putting your mind through what they call it, practices that strengthen it. Right? I can't think of any right now, but oh yes, meditation is one of them, right? I used to do like a 20 minutes meditation every day, and it was so useful because it forced my mind to be able to sit still and to ponder on a specific thing rather than letting it just go. Oh, I like ice cream. Oh, the elephant is pink. Oh, this and that and that and that. There's so many distractions in this world, and there's always going to be an excuse or a reason not to do something that we need to do. But if we truly want to walk in our authority and the full power that God has given to us, then we must have self-control. We must exercise discipline. We must be intentional about the things that we do, the choices that we make. There are many things that are out of our control. Other people, the weather, the way our bosses act, the way maybe your children falling ill, or your husband acting funny, or gas finishing. There's so many things outside of our control, but the things that are within our control, the things that are within us, how we respond to things. For me, that's the self-control bit, right? It's removing yourself from being the reason for your failure, right? If at the end of the day you're like, oh, it rained, so I couldn't go to work. What about all the people that went to work when it rained? Did you have an umbrella ready? Did you prep your clothes when you said, oh, NEPA took light? There was no light. I couldn't look smart at the office. You know that there's a possibility of them taking light. Why didn't you prep your clothes when there was light? Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't make it early for the presentation because there was traffic. Most of the times there's a traffic pattern. When I used to go into the office and I moved to Local Goma with my mom, I needed to get to the office at 8. There was no excuse. So I would leave my house at 6:30 and get to the office at 7, and then use that time to either prep for work, eat, or do whatever it is that I wanted to do. But it's creating tools or using tools to help you get ahead. It's you're a morning person or you're a night person. No, that's not, well, let's just leave it at that. I want to read something to you guys that really helped me. It woke me up in a time that I needed to be woken up, and it made me realize the power that we have within us, because this is not there's a difference between reading what the Bible says and then taking it and putting it into practice. And I think that sometimes that's something that's missing for us as believers, is just not doing our part in things, right? So this, it's I think it's a poem. I don't know, but it's called "There's a Hole in My Sidewalk: The Romance of Self-Discovery." It's by Portia Nelson. Chapter 1 of my life. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place. But it isn't my fault, and it still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it there. I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down a different street. So, which chapter are you in? Wake up, choose better, exercise self-control, instill discipline in your life. So, what discipline am I going to instill in my life today? I guess I'm going to take medicine. I haven't taken any medicine since I've been feeling poorly, because I like my body to fight. But sometimes your body needs a little help. What else? Maybe I'm going to encourage my daughter to take a nap so that I can get a head start on making tomorrow's post. What else? Maybe I can make sure that my family eats vegetables so that our immune system is stronger, and so we don't fall ill. What else? Maybe I can call the carpenter to fix something that made my husband kick his leg. There's so many things. So, good luck. Good luck to you, my sister, and brothers, because I know there's some brothers listed, so thank you. God help us all. Oh, but remember, he's already helping us, so get to work.